Hello, one more video, and this time one student requested I should post a video for find function and if statement. So, and this video will be just for the find function. So I chose an example here. I think I'm not sure if we have done exactly the similar problem or not, but in class. But this is gonna give you another you know. Practice or another way to understand how to use the find function. So in this example, you have a matrix here G, and again, sometimes it's useful with simply grades for three different tests. And the first column, these numbers are all like student IDs, and then this is test 1. All this column is test 1, then test 2 and test 3. So, and I wanted to work on based on this question is the data table, and of course the table shows 3 exam grades for EGNR 140 students. And the question 1 is find how many students received A in at least 2 exams. So out of 3, how many students received A in at least 2 exams? That's the first question. Then the second question is how many students received at least one A, in any exam. So and then the third question is list the students or student IDs, which is kind of impaired, it's kind of obvious, like students, or listing students by their IDs who received A in at least one exam. So basically this question number 3 is more like the same question as 2, which is how many received at least one A out of 3 exams. And once you figure that out, and then the question 3 says, tell me who are those students. Number 4 says how many failed in at least one exam. Okay, so that's my question, assuming that this matrix is given. So for the first question, to answer the first question, how many students received A in at least 2 exams? So out of 3, at least 2 exams received an A. So the way that you wanted to do is you wanted to pair up the column 2 and column 3. So this is second column and third column. So pair up this column and see if both of them are above 90 or not. And then you pair up second and third, so which means test number 2 and test number 3, and pair up if these two are both greater than 90 or not. So that's a 2 pair. And then the third pair is the column 1 and column 3. So you check each of those 3 combinations and see if any of them are greater than 90, any combination. So this is how I have done it here. So I will just show one at a time. So here N1, I wanted to make it as if it's question number 1. So number 1, so the find, I'm comparing second column of G. I'm saying that second column of G is greater than or equal to 90, which is A, and third column of G is greater than 90. So it's a column 2 and column 3 are both greater than 90. So that is my one combination, column 2 and column 3, which means test number 1 and test number 2. Now I wanted to do either, if this is true, then it means I don't have to check anything else. If this is true, then this whole thing is gonna come up positive. So I know that at least one student received in both 2 and 3, exam 2 and 3 greater than 90. What if a student received between test 1 and test 3? So the way this 2 and 4 is indicating test 1 and test 3, because this 2 is the second column and 4th is the third column. I'm sorry, 4 is the fourth column, which is third test. So first pair is first and second exam. Second pair is first and third exam, and third pair is second and third exam. So I am checking with the or sign either both of these exam greater than 90, or exam 1 and exam 3 both greater than 90, or exam 2 and exam 3 both greater than 90. So that is the combination that I'm trying to figure out how many of those I have in this number. Again, always remember that find function, one more time, find function gives you the location or indices, array indices, and since I'm comparing columns, so this time find function is going to give me the row numbers only. So in which row, which is nothing but student IDs or student numbers, which student received both test 1 and test 2 greater than 90. If it is true, then I get that. Even if one student received all three of them greater than 90, that's fine, because I have at least one pair true. So I don't have to check the others, but if any of them true. So this is going to give me the answer for the first question. Then the second question says that how many received at least one A. So this time is a little bit simpler, but the same concept. And number two is find G, which is the first test, which is second column is the first test greater than equal to 90, or G second test greater than equal to 90, or G of third test greater than equal to 90. So I have all three of them separate with the OR sign. So either this is true, or this true, or this and this is true, which means at least one A is received by that student. So those values are stored in N2, and N4 is how many failed in at least one exam. So I'm doing exactly the same thing, but this time I'm checking the grade less than 60, grades less than 60, and again here grades less than 60, and all of them are R. So at least one exam that the person failed. If you know, I mean, I haven't asked this as a question, but what if I asked you how many students failed in all exams? What would you do then in all exams? So of course, you know, like you're checking this guy, this has to be true, and this guy has to be true, and this guy has to be true. So all of them are and. So that means all of them has to be true, only then this value will be true. So that's what you're going to do if this question was how many students failed in all three exams. I hope that makes sense to you. So now that I have those numbers down, so again, like, you know, just simply using a printf, like the question was how many students. Find function gives me the row number. So if there are one student here or two student here, this will give me the row. Say for example, second student and fourth student received at least 2 90s. So then this N1 would be 2 and 4. So but my question is how many students, so I have to use the length command, length of N1, that tells you how many students received at least 2 A's out of 3, and then length of N2 is how many received at least 1 A, and then the last one, length of N4, which is how many failed in at least any exam, at least one exam. So the third question was list the students who received A in at least one exam, which is actually a second question, how many received at least 1 A. So that answer, like N2, is giving me those student ID numbers, like row numbers, and now I wanted to know the student IDs. So instead of doing anything else, I just used directly in here. So I wrote like students who received at least 1 A, and with the next line I wrote IDs equals, then fprintf Gn2 1. So this is kind of important for you to notice here. So all the students IDs in my column are located in column 1, but I was not sure which students received at least 1 A. So if I just, you know, manually look at it, like the first student received at least 1 A, I mean it's 91. Second also received at least 1 A. It received both, but at least 1 A is true. Third one didn't receive any A in all three exams, so that is false. Fourth one received at least 1 A. fifth one received at least one A. So it's basically the answer is 1, 2, 4, and 5. So 3 is not an answer. So I wanted to print out this ID, this ID, this ID, and this ID, skipping the third one. So what do I have in N2? I have the answer for N2 would be 1, 2, 4, and 5. So now I know the row numbers 1, 2, 4, 5. So I used all the row numbers 1, 2, 4, 5, and for each of those row I'm looking for the column number 1. So that is gonna give me, like, say for example N2, the first value of N2 is 1, so it will be 1, 1. So what is the 1, 1 value? Is 17400. That's 1, 1 value. Then the second value of N2 is 2. So then you're gonna find the 2, 1 value, which is this guy. Then the third value of N2 is 4. So then you are looking for 4, 1 value. All of them are in from column 1. And then the last one would be 5, 1. So if you use this expression with the G, which is the entire matrix, and this N2 indicating 1, 2, 4, and 5, and then this after comma, this is indicating the column number. So now I get all the student IDs for this. So I will just simply print that, and then I'm printing the last one, how many students failed at least one exam. So that is an example for find function. Hope that would help you. So I will stop the video now.